is important that we hear Nigeria. It is important and to say what you think is right for the benefit of everyone. It's not against. It's not if you have to take side is with what is right. It's not one against the other. On the contrary, we are diplomats. We always work for compromise. Try to avoid any brutal or changes that are needed in the. But it is what is right. We need it definitely. Listening to Nigeria is important for everyone, not only for Algeria. It's needed. It's called for. We want you to show at least many others will lend a listening ear to what you would say. And I mean on the question of peace and security in Africa. Specific cases, not needless to go. What you mentioned in your area, in the IGAD or IGAD Plus, in our area in Northern Africa, in Southern Africa also, we need to free Africa from many woes that still exist because of history, because of colonization. We still need that economically. We need to improve our self-determination on. I mean, when we decide, even if we make errors, we make mistakes, but these are our mistakes. This is not because of international. Of course, we need to be careful on the international situation. But I mean, developing Nigeria, developing Algeria, developing all other countries, we should find new ways of thinking. How can we exploit this potential that we all know exists on so many? Not only it's not just coming to Africa and picking up the resources, natural resources, and taking them to other countries. We need to draw from these natural resources. That will definitely affect the political institutions. There's this, and we have the instrument is the African Union and all what the inside. We have this agenda 2063 and 2030 for the UN. We need this, and who best than Nigeria could have a leading role in this area. So this is in this way. It's not just asking for Nigeria. This is natural role of Nigeria to be present in this, to saying the right word, saying the right position, the right track. That is needed. I'm calling. I hope, and this is a traditional role. It's not nothing new. In fact, it will help Nigeria internally. It will help Nigeria externally. That we cannot ignore. We ignore no one, but we cannot ignore or pass on without Nigeria we cannot do it. That peace, security, development in all Africa, we cannot do it. And you are the choice. You need to have this role. We need you. We need you as African, not only as Algerian. We need you. So this is what I'm calling for, and we should not leave it to others. And I mean, even for security, we need others with Europeans or other Americans or whatever. But on peace and security in Africa, in conflicts that we have now, we still have, unfortunately, it has to be African-based solutions. They have to be African-based. We know better. You mentioned the Security Council, the reform. When I was there in another position, we have a veto, in fact, on African issues because we have 3 members, African members in the Security. I cannot imagine that 3 African members on African issues having a position and the others not following. This is not possible. This is not feasible. So if how can we build the consensus, African consensus, with our 3 members who are there now, right now, out of 15? I cannot imagine the P5 taking a decision in Africa, on African issues, against the 3 members, the African members. So we need to build this unity. We need to build this consensus between ourselves, between Africans. And Nigeria, inside the operation of building this consensus, is tremendous, is instrumental. So you cannot dismiss your role. No, that you have no right to dismiss your role. We need it. You have to be with Africa. And I insist, it's not taking side. It's taking side with one or the others, or one against the others. Taking side with what is right. And things are right. We have our principles, as you mentioned, decolonization, development, getting rid of all the links that are not natural, not normal with the rest of the world. How can we exploit our resources? How can we succeeded? You mentioned apartheid, you mentioned Namibia, and there are tremendous success because of Africans, not because of the others, because of Africans, because of the unity of Africans. And the fact that we still call it our organization, the African Unity, is it has a sense. It has a sense. How can we build this unity? What is happening in Ethiopia? No, it is up to us. It's not up to the. We will go to the Security Council, UN, but it's up to us. We have to deal with that. Western Sahara, it is between us. We cannot just turn a blind eye on these issues. All other issues in Congo and the and other issues in Mozambique and fighting terrorism. It's not. It's all together. It's all together. This is where the role is of Nigeria and others, but Nigeria specifically is pivotal. Yes, Geoffrey.
Africa is the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy and has been since 1960. So in our concentric circle of policy, foreign policy, Africa is the core of that, and so we assume that responsibility, that role, and we have that vision for a great Africa. It, of course, feeds in to the 2063 agenda of the African Union in all its aspects. But we don't want to impose. Every country is sovereign, however big or small, in Africa, and we have equal respect for all countries. And wherever and whenever it is felt that Nigeria can make a difference anywhere, we will be very happy to engage and play whatever role we can. As you know, for instance, the IGAD, Nigeria is part of IGAD Plus, Nigeria, and we've played a role in trying to stabilize the situation there in South Sudan and the parts of the Horn of Africa. Years gone by, we were considered a frontline state in the battle to, decolonize and end apartheid in Southern Africa. In ECOWAS too, we've been very present, in various peacekeeping role and also imposing peace in the sub-region. So we accept that. For us, it is a fraternal duty to help African countries and to show this solidarity. And beyond that, economically within our means, we are called upon to assist, and we do that. So we are happy to. The government is not even just happy, but it's almost a sacred obligation, a fraternal duty to help across the continent if called upon to do so. So if there is any area that you feel that we can to help to resolve situations where we can add value, once there's an African consensus on any issue that concerns Africa, we have the basis of the solution right there. Yeah, but fair enough. We will engage. We don't shrink back. We don't shirk our responsibility, and we have that responsibility, and we will always do our best by Africa, and we'll continue to do so. Our relationship goes back from independence of Nigeria. We've had what we will call, Algeria is one of the countries that we have special relationship with, and our presidents have always been very close. And you will recall, for instance, the new Partnership for African Development, which was a very, very important um, mechanism that was created to address African development going forward. At the core of that, the conception and the bringing into being, you had two Nigerian presidents, essentially. I mean, two presidents, Algerian and a Nigerian president, who were really at the core of that, and that really showed that we consider that partnership as being the engine for African growth and development. That's how close we are. Now, going forward and in the recent past, we've been looking at greater economic cooperation, and that's been an area that we've tried to focus on, and also in the area of peace and security. Consider that Algeria is a key partner in helping to achieve peace and security on the African continent. We're two big countries in the African Union. There are 5 countries that pay most of the financial contribution to the African Union. So we strategize together and make sure that we're on the same page. Otherwise, it will be difficult to achieve significant progress on the continent without that. And then also in the larger world, at the multilateral level, the United Nations and other international organizations, we also have and always seek to maintain that solidarity between the two of us, and our values. We have the same values and the same world view and vision. So that is really the area. You recall maybe that just last week the Federal Executive Council, Mr. President, passed the agreement for diplomats of Algeria to come into Nigeria without the requirement of visas. So we have a special relationship, and this meeting we have sought to identify those areas and those agreements that we still need to implement going forward.